right, for my golfers that are part of our speed challenge, this video is for you. For my golfers out there that are just looking at and interested in getting speed and may catch this video at a later date, I want to give you, guys and gals, 4 tips to utilize when you're using your speed training. Get the most out of your speed training with your driver. A speed measuring device. We use the PRGR Black. We like it. It's a reasonable price point. Some folks use a swing speed radar. At the end of the day, use something that can track your speed. That way you can tell tangibly how much speed you're gaining. All right, tips 2, 3, and 4 are all around technical components to allow you to gain speed. So tip number 1, all comes down to backswing. All right, so tip number 1, if you want to increase your speed with your driver or speed training, I want you to play around with the speed of your backswing. The faster we take the club back, generally speaking, the more force you can put on the handle in transition, which will create some element of lag and in turn speed. So play with how fast you take the club back in your backswing. Slow versus get it back there, get it moving. All right, so tip 1, play with the speed at which you bring the club back on the backswing. Number 2 is for those folks that may be stiff. So we've got some physical things we can do to allow us to move better. The one I like, or one of the ones I go to, is lifting our lead heel. It does 2 things. It allows us to get further back in our backswing, all right? But number 2, it gives us a feel of re-pressuring and replanting into our lead side, which can be great for those folks that get the arms going a lot. So lift the lead heel and then plan to plant the lead heel aggressively. So it's going to look like this. Lift the lead heel, plant and go, all right? All right, swing tip number 2 has to do with our left elbow, okay? So for some of you it's gonna work, for some of you it may not. But again, this is only when we're doing our speed training. I'm not saying do this on the golf course. Maybe if you're doing this in a long drive competition, sure. But for our speed training with our driver, I want you to have some freedom with your levers. Let the elbow bend a little bit so we can use another variable to get our body moving fast and the club moving fast. So letting the elbow bend is gonna look, I'll do my very best, right? Let the elbow bend. And see if we get a little bit more juice out of it. Okay, again, use a radar to measure. All right, last tip, tip number 4. Again, it's our 3rd physical tip. It's gonna be feeling what we're doing at impact with the ground, right? Before impact with the ground, using our legs. So I want you to feel on the way down that you're pushing and jumping, all right? So have a feel of jumping or pushing into the ground. So it's gonna take it back and swing, right? Where you're really trying to drive with your lower body and swing. Now, 3 of those tips might be gold, gold. For most of you, for some of you, 1 might really resonate and get the speed up. For others, it might be 2 with a combination. And for some of you, they may not all work. You gotta get some time and get some reps and kind of drill it and get the sequencing and coordination down. For those that have big limitations, right, you gotta build into this stuff slowly, figure out what your limitations are flexibility-wise, and work on them. And if you have any injuries, it's almost always inherently, it's not almost always, it is always inherently best to get those dealt with first before you start ripping clubs and working on your speed stuff. If you have questions with this stuff, leave comments below. Give us a buzz through Instagram, YouTube, our email, and we'll be happy to help you.